Welcome back, Fireside. September 22nd. Game week 5 is wrapped up. It was a good game week. A lot to talk about. Okay. UCL started, so that's pretty cool. Manchester United is not in the UCL this year, for anyone who's curious. Tottenham is, though. So I just wanted to make sure people, just in case people thought he was wearing the jersey.
He couldn't.
UCL,
no, I'm wearing it because we won. Chelsea are idiots.
They won't be in the Champions League next year either.
Well, maybe. There's still time. How are you two doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
You know.
Yeah, not bad. A little tired, but this show got me a little juicy inside.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I mean, listen, we do these things later at night after our work days, and it's a little tiring, but this gets us amped up, I think. I get jazzed up for it. I look forward to it all day.
Mr. Jazzy.
I get Mr. Jazzy, and I get excited. No spirit fingers. No, these are spirit fingers. Yeah. Yes.
There it is. There it is.
So, yeah, let's get right into it. As always, we're going to start off with the Fireside Mini-League review.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give that one over to you, Phil, and I'm going to let you take it away. I'll show the screen for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think this is an exciting one because after a few average weeks, yours truly finally had a pretty decent game week. And I ended up with 61 points, I believe.
Into that team for you. There you go.
Show the table first. Show the table first.
I was showing the table, but I wanted to
keep
give
the table up for a second.
I'll leave the table up. Let me zoom in.
Because I think we need to celebrate after, 5 game weeks?
Yeah, that's
the 3 of us are at the top there.
Who's all the way at the top?
Mr. Sean. And then Dave. And then myself. And then, we have a few guys. Holland owners, of course, shortly behind us. But, I ended up with 61 points. Apparently, we had another guy with 61 points, Logan. But he's also in dead last, so I don't think it's worth giving him any props. Sorry, Logan. But instead, Logan. We're going to give props to me because I had some issues with my team, but ended up putting up 61 points. Stayed true to the Holland captain. And, that's about it. I don't know how Truffet, or however we say his name on this show. Truffet. Yeah. Had 9. He got 3 bonus points, even though he didn't have defensive contribution. So, I still don't know how the bonus point system works, but I will take it for this game week. And as you can see on the screen, I think the biggest thing I did well was not starting Sanchez and putting in Dubravka. That is a 7-point swing, so can't be mad at that. And then obviously I left Rangers on the bench, but I think he showed that he continues to be probably the most undervalued asset right now in FPL.
You're never going to get a 5.5 million midfielder to perform 3 out of every 4 weeks.
Nope.
I think 2 or 3 out of 5 weeks is spectacular. And I think Caicedo's doing the same thing, surprisingly. So both of those guys, you should have Reinders or Caicedo on your team, especially because of the lack of consistency from the midfielders right now.
I think someone like Caicedo is going to consistently get you 4 points or 5 points, depending on a clean sheet and him not getting a yellow card. And then Reinders might be more of the 2 points, 2 points, 10 points, 2 points, 2 points. At the end of the day, it's probably going to balance out, and those two guys, to your point, are going to continue to be pretty strong guys to have on your team because they enable you to spend somewhere else.
I also think the fact that Haaland is, which we all said was going to happen, is having a fantastic season already. If it continues, it's only going to help Reinders more and more, knowing that the best forward, frankly, in the world right now is on his team.
And and you can jump in, Dave, too, because I know we talked about it with Foden potentially becoming that next starter. I think they said on TV City's now had the same lineup 3 games in a row. It seems like Pep is finding that starting 11, having Foden there has enabled Reinders too to be more of an offensive midfielder.
And
so
Rodri's back.
Yeah, Rodri's kind of that.
Stays back exactly.
A little bit. So interesting to see that. And I don't know, Dave, if you want to touch on Foden real quick too, because he could be creeping in some lineups.
He's kind of that guy because of the expensive midfielders. Like if you don't have Salah, other than Bruno Fernandes, like none of them are really worth it. Like
nope.
Verts has been bad.
Yep.
Son's not in the Premier League anymore. Palmer's been hurt.
Son is not in the Premier League, but he continues to be in the options, right? I think I just saw him. You could still pick him up if you want. What happens if you click him? Does he even let you put him on the team?
Wait, no. It does not appear he's an option anymore.
I feel like he was like literally last week, though. I feel like I saw his name. Maybe I'm making that up.
It was there at some point, but like my point is Foden, like we really kind of need him to like not need, but it'd be nice if he was relevant to give you another option around that price point because it's like Marmouche is hurt. I guess Mbeumo and Cunha are options now, but it's few and far between of the expensive midfielders. So it would be nice if he could catch some form here. They have a good schedule coming up too, their next 4 weeks. So could be a sneaky one to get in early and take a risk if you're that kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good stuff. Phil, you jumped like 1.2 million spots. You almost broke into the top million. Dave and I are both, in the, I think Dave in the 800,000 range. I'm in the 200,000 range. So we're slowly grinding up. Yep. We're slowly grinding up.
Long story short, congrats to me and good game week for you guys too.
Yeah,
just not as good.
Yeah. Not as good, but still good.
It was pretty meh for me. Pretty average.
All right. So we'll go right into topics. There's not a lot of topics. I'm sure everyone out there, there's really not a whole lot to talk about this week. The only topics I really had that I wanted to bring to you guys was first and foremost Isak from The Guardian. Take that with however you want. It sounds like he is going to start Liverpool's EFL third round game tomorrow against, who is it? It's Southampton, I believe, against Southampton. So, he started their last non-EPL game as well, I believe. Correct? Yeah. So he started in the games not in the EPL right now. Etikite is still the guy in the EPL at the moment. Let's see what happens. I think the question I want to ask you guys is, are you getting any better feeling now of when the right time is going to be? Everyone, I think, is probably waiting on this. Like, when is the right time to get Isak where I'm not too late and he gets 3 goals in a game, but I'm not too early where I have him on my team and he doesn't play? Thoughts?
It's not clear yet. I think the time when I'll feel comfortable is when they have a midweek game and he plays, and then he also starts the Premier League game on the weekend. Yep. So that's probably when I'll feel comfortable.
So you guys are not interested in trying to get in early. You're kind of waiting. You want to see it first.
I guess I'm not getting him this week. I am tentatively planning to wildcard next week. So I'm like hoping that happens this week where he starts or plays in the midweek and then starts on the weekend, and then I'll feel better about it getting him in the wild card. But that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I like that plan because Liverpool does have Palace and Chelsea away. So obviously Liverpool's Liverpool, top 2 teams in the EPL, but those are 2 hard away games. So you could use them to kind of navigate that situation, knowing that you're not missing out on like a Liverpool against Leeds at home, right? Where he could get a haul for you. So if you're wild carding this week, it's kind of tough. But Dave, I'm wild carding next, like game week 7. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm planning.
So that's a little easier to kind of see if potentially Isak could fit in there. So I'm with Dave on that.
I think that's fair. And I'm not, for myself, I'm not ringing the alarm bells just yet. But the longer this goes on, the more I get concerned that Schlot's just going to go with a Isak, Etikite, Gakpo strategy for the whole season. And I don't think we're going to get the value out of Isak that he probably deserves as an FPL asset. I'm a little worried because Etikite is not bad. He is doing really well in the EPL. And I'm worried that we're just not going to get the value that we want from him this season, because frankly I don't think Liverpool needs to play him every game.
There's something sketchy for you, Sean, that could happen. And Dave, I'll let
and it
you
could be Gakpo, it could be Etikite playing on the left wing.
That's what I was just gonna say.
And Gakpo coming out, but I mean, again, that's why I have the alarm bell, because I have Gakpo. But I don't see Ekitike just replacing Gakpo unless he continues to not perform in the next couple weeks.
At some point, I feel like Isak, they spent all that money on him.
Spent all that money on a lot of guys.
But I just feel like at some point, he has to start getting the majority of the minutes in the Premier League. But
I don't know.
I'm not saying it might not be within the next month. But I do wonder if Gakpo is going to be the one that makes way, whether it's for Ekitike or if they play Wirtz on the left, because he slid over to the left in their last game.
I think I'm having PTSD because of what we saw from City last year with so many assets and the rotations.
They were all useless.
Liverpool has so many assets, and they appear to start rotating already with Wirtz. And are they all just going to be kind of like hit or miss for us? I don't know yet. That's just a thought.
I think that you also have to remember Isak is still like getting up to full fitness.
Into form, yeah.
So I think that what I think is going to happen eventually when he's at full fitness is he will starting and playing the majority of the minutes in the Premier League, regardless of what they're doing in the middle of the week. But Ekitike, I don't think is going away no matter what.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think Liverpool has built a team that's meant to be able to win all three competitions, not get tired. Yep. And Isak, I think, is going to be one of the centerpieces to that. And then you have someone like Ekitike, Gakpo, those guys on rotation who allow you to rest those players maybe on a random game week or even for the cup games.
Yep.
And keep them fresh for the two important competitions. So that's why I think I agree with Dave. At some point, him and Salon, a few other guys are probably going to be the staple players that'll play the important games, and other guys will.
Yep. So I think the moral of our story is keep your eyes peeled and have a transfer ready, because Gakpo and or Ekitike, you may need to move off if they start losing minutes. So just be aware of it. Be aware of it. Things are changing on that team. Okay. The only other piece of news I had, it's a similar situation. We're talking not necessarily Isak being out, but injury. So another player that we're waiting to see what's going to happen. That's Wisa. Estimated, right? So take it with a grain of salt. Estimated October 18th for him to be back. Obviously, Waltemade's going to be the guy until Wisa's back, and we don't know how they're going to split those minutes. But less on Waltemade, I think I'm more interested in asking you guys Forrest, Newcastle, anyone. Is there anyone on offense right now? They look terrible on offense. They look fantastic on defense. Is there anyone on offense that you want right now? Is there anyone?
No,
I don't think so. I don't even think Walton Maid is making it on my list right now because he looks okay, but there's just no service, it feels like at times.
Yeah.
And
most of the time, there's no service.
Yeah. Defensively, though, I'll take any of them.
Yeah, they're good.
They're killing it.
But yeah, Eddie Howe said Wisa was going to be out till after the next international break. So he's going to miss the next two games, which they play Arsenal next and then Forest. So it's not the end of the world to me if he comes back and he's healthy and ready to go after the international break, but we'll see. But no, I don't want no other non-defenders.
Sorry about it, Newcastle. Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, but it's another reason why there's so few options in the midfield this year.
Yeah, but they're defenders.
Fantastic. And they're also massive humans. All right, that was it.
One quick announcement here, because I know a lot of people have Sanchez, Chelsea's goalie.
Sure.
If you have him, don't panic. He will be available for game week 6 because his suspension got reduced from 3 games to 1.
Great call.
And he is going to serve that suspension against Lincoln City, I think they play.
A fantastic club. It's a fantastic club.
Great club. So good.
A lot of history.
We know a lot about them.
Absolutely.
And
ripping on Lincoln City.
We love Lincoln City. What are you talking about, Dave?
For all the Lincoln City fans watching us, we love Lincoln City.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Come on.
Honestly, like and subscribe.
But Sanchez will serve the suspension then and be ready for you for game week 6, so you don't need to panic and do anything crazy.
I love that call out, Phil. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
all right. That's the topics that we had. Oh, man, I didn't even use our... Listen, I'll use it late. Because I messed it up.
It's time for topics and transfers.
Everyone's going to be confused now, but listen, I worked hard on this. I need to... I didn't use it last week either, I realized.
Sean gets his sounds, okay? That's just the way it is.
This is my life. I come for the sounds. I don't come for anything else. Okay, so topics done. Now that we're halfway through, transfers next. Dave, take it.
Erling Haaland is the number one transfer in. Been telling you guys for a long time. Looks like everyone's figuring it out, and Ollie Watkins is the number one guy getting moved out for him, which...
Yeah, hey, you want to talk about figuring it out, guys?
I feel bad.
You guys want to insult Haaland and then see Watkins? You guys been backing that guy all year.
I'm honestly waiting. I'm going to give him until game week 33, Sunderland at home.
That's
If we can't score in that game, then I'm out on him.
You got to trust the talent.
Is 5 game weeks enough where now you guys can't say they got to score eventually?
Game week 33 against Sunderland at home.
They have to score, and they did score.
Yeah, they scored.
It was the guy Dave hates the most.
It's Matty Cash, and
Matty Cash.
And Sunderland was down to 10 men for like 2/3 of the game.
Yes, Phil sent a text in our group after the red card and said they can't possibly not score when they're up a man, right? And then Matt Cash gets the goal.
Yeah.
Aston Villa's in shambles, man.
Just helping no one.
There's a lot of time left in the season, but they look bad.
I'm normally not someone who's like, oh, get rid of a coach, especially someone like Emery, who's been excellent at getting a lot out of their teams. But at this point, it feels like you have to change something, and you're not going to change by getting rid of Watkins or Rodgers. So, like, I feel you need to shake something up. I feel like it has to be the coach.
They went from looking like the best underdog team in the UCL last year to what has changed? Like, they didn't lose any of their top tier players. Martinez is still there. Watkins is still there. Rodgers is still there. Konsa's still there. Like, what has happened?
I mean, Rashford and Asensio were two good pieces.
They lost a lot of pace and creativity in attack. I mean, Leon Bailey isn't the same level of player, but he is at least fast.
Yeah.
But if you keep playing John McGinn at right wing, anyway,
keep transfers. Continue.
I'll skip over Semenyo and Senesi because they've been on here like the whole year. Donnarumma is on here.
Donnarumma's good, man. I mean, we knew that. That's no surprise there.
Just won the Yashin Trophy for best goalie in the world,
and he deserved. Like, he is, of course. Man City went from a defense I really didn't want any assets on to now I'm fairly confident.
Now you're interested
in them because, and not to say that who they were playing. I don't even remember the goalie they had in there.
James Trafford.
Like, he's not great. I don't know if he's bad. The defense was giving up a bunch of shots, but with Donnarumma, like, there's still a chance of a shutout, even though you're giving up a bunch of shots as a defense. So I think it makes the defenders for Man City much more interesting now.
And now they play Burnley, Brentford, and Everton.
Yeah. I think Diaz and, Gavardiol, like, they just became a lot more interesting to me.
Agreed. Their teammate, Tiani Reinders, is on here, who we all really like. Already, I think we were talking about him before the pod. Yeah. Or was that during the pod? I can't remember that far back.
Both. That was I don't know anymore.
But I haven't stopped talking about him.
In terms of the midfielders that are $5.5 million ish, it's pretty much him and Caicedo we think are far and away the two best values. Ryan Gravenberch is on here because he scored again. Don't think that's sustainable.
No,
if you want
that one's wild.
If you want to go ahead and pick him up, you go ahead and do that.
DEFCON that game?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Either way, I'm not picking him up. Sean's boy Mark Gahey's on here, and Richarlison is on here. He returned to the starting lineup and scored for Tottenham.
Yeah, and then next week they're going to start Mathis Tell. I think Richarlison's amazing for this schedule if he would play every game, but we just don't know. And they're in UCL, so he's not going to play every game.
So he did get DEFCON first time.
Just, and they have Koulibaly in the wings whenever they decide they want to put him in the game. So I would love to get Richarlison, but I never know when that performance is coming.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have him, hold him and play him against Wolves. Hopefully he starts, but he's not someone I'm buying.
Yeah, it's just so hard to know. It's the only reason I'm out. But
the outs. Robert Sanchez, thank you for hacking down Brian Mbeumo 5 minutes into the game. Made my Saturday a lot better.
People did not realize about the red card, the suspension change.
Florian Wirtz is on here. I took a swing on him 2 weeks ago because their schedule was good. Didn't work out. So he's going to be leaving my team one way or another, maybe in 2 weeks in a wild card, maybe this week. I haven't decided. Cole Palmer is on here because he continues maybe or maybe not being injured.
Yeah, it's annoying.
If you jumped back in and got that return, great. If not, not the return against Man United. The one before that, he left the game after 20 minutes against United because Maresca decided to take out all of his attacking players. Monitor the news. I don't know what else to tell you, but I'm glad I don't have him at this very moment. And I'm going to end this with 2 Liverpool guys. Cody Gakpo and Mo Salah is the second most transferred out player.
That's because everyone's getting halal.
People are finally figuring it out.
No.
You could have avoided this.
No. Bye, Mo Salah.
Ooh. Charnley remix.
That's a Charlie remix, baby.
Yeah, you could have just done this from the start and listened to us and had more points and not had to do this, but you all didn't. Well, really only like 3% of you. But anyway, Salah is finally on the transfer outs, which we think he should have been for quite a while now.
Yes, Haaland was always the better option. We knew that in advance. Like, we always knew that was going to happen. So.
Yeah, we're just...
and you know, I don't want to insult my brother in here, but, you know, I watch a lot of Florian Wirtz play, and he said before the season, I just don't know if it's going to work on that team for FPL.
Well, you're very right so far.
He's probably potentially their best player, but he's just never going to get the ball the way he did at Leverkusen. There's just too many people that take it.
I was hoping to be kind of, you know, differential and pick him up when people were dropping him, and it didn't work.
I'll give you 50.
Didn't work.
I'll give you 50% of that bullshit hindsight.
I will take that.
Because the other 50
I will take that.
Clearly Liverpool is just not playing well right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take 50%.
But I will give you 50
and
because you did say multiple times.
And I will take 50%.
And I'm taking the other 50%.
And you can have the other 50%.
So 50%
50-50. Okay.
I'm not sure where I fit in on this, but
You're the one who still has them, so
I still have
0
them,
points.
so I get 0.
0%.
I get nothing.
Yeah.
But that's the transfer news. Some interesting ones this week. Some guys that we're familiar with, but most importantly, people figuring out that they should have Haaland and not Salah.
I mean, do I do it? Do I do it again? I don't want to overuse it, but like,
Just hit it.
Listen, I don't want to overuse it, but it's like you could talk about him every single week. He's the best player in FPL right now. So, okay, fantastic, Dave, fantastic. So let's hop right into player picks and get rocking and rolling.
Player picks of the week.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it. I do think that's my favorite sound that
There's
you've
a problem,
made.
though. I have another one that we haven't even used yet for chip strategies.
Oh, man.
So I have a third one that's waiting in the wings right now. Okay, so next week, when our wild card episode comes out, pay attention, it's coming. I'll use it, and everyone can see the glory. The glory that is my slide transition.
Well, Fizz, they've probably heard Phil and I are planning on wildcarding next week, so we'll give you some insight into what one of us is going to do.
Love that. All right, let's get started with player picks. I'm going to start because I'm going to go with a guy that Phil can riff right off of after I'm done. I don't want to talk too in depth on him, but it's because it's a guy we've mentioned the last 2 weeks, Jack Grealish. Okay, we talked about him 2 weeks ago. We talked about him last week. I'm going to talk about him one more time this week, and then you're probably not going to hear about him again for a while. 6.8 million. He is now 22.6% owned. That is more than Bruno, just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
But everyone, I think, needs to not FOMO in right now. Fear of missing out, right? Everyone's diving in right now, and honestly,
FOMO in.
Yeah, FOMO in. That's I think a crypto term. I've heard everyone FOMOs in. Yeah. We said 2 weeks ago he had 2 assists in a row, right? Game weeks 2 and 3, I believe. And the exact words we used were, "Do not be surprised when he blanks in his next 2 games." Not because he's not good, but because Everton was scoring at a 68% rate for shots on target to goals. That's super unrealistic for them to finish with. And we knew it was going to come back to the mean. It's just numbers. Since then, he has looked good. The team looked all right on offense, but they only have 1 goal in 2 games. He wasn't a part of either of them. So it just made sense to us. But here we are 3 weeks later when we said now's the time to put him in the game. Okay? Now's your chance. If you have him on your team, if you want to pick him up, you can. But if you have him on your team, like, do not put him on your bench. I think he needs to be played this week. They get West Ham home, and Everton is now down to a 50% shot on target to goal ratio, which again is still high.
Still high.
25 to 30% is where they're going to be at the end of the season. So it's still high, but it's closer to the mean. They have 6 goals on 12 shots on net. But some stats I didn't realize. So listen to this. Grealish, number 1 amongst midfielders in expected assists per game. And overall, with the second most attempted assists, only behind Bruno. So he really is doing very well on what's not a great offense for the most part.
That lines up with the eye test too, because I do feel like he played well against Liverpool.
I think so.
After they went down, I thought Everton kind of grew into the game. But yeah, if you still have him, this is the week to use him.
Absolutely.
And then get rid of him.
And probably get rid of him, yes.
They play Palace, City, and Tottenham after this. So if you have an extra transfer and want to go out and grab him, no opposition to that. Then if you're wild carding like us in game week 7,
sure,
don't pick him.
But that was my point is, listen, if you have him, play him now. Yeah. Please don't triple captain him or try and get cute. If you want to captain him, fine, but like maybe don't get cute with it. Just put him in your lineup. But I will say West Ham is going to have the most goals this season. Yep. I think it's 13. So they're a pretty horrible defense. So there's a lot of chance here for Grealish to do something. I would expect 1 return from him. That would just be like an expectation. I think he's primed to do that. So I think, if you have him, play him. If you really want to transfer him in, do it. But you're probably not going to get a lot of use the 3 weeks after. But that's my point on Grealish. And there's a guy on that team that Phil wants to talk about. So let's just push it right over to another guy that's in a great matchup.
I think it's more kind of an open question for you guys too. But the guy I was thinking of, it's Ndiaye. Everyone has been on and off of him, but thinking about a forward or attacking asset for Everton, I feel like he's the only one, if I'm thinking long term, and I know they play City, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, but I don't mind if you're wildcarding to get him against West Ham, then you also have Sunderland and Fulham in the next few game weeks, especially as a cheaper midfielder that's going to allow you to pick up some more premium players. I feel like I would go with him over Grealish if I had to pick. Just because he's kind of their 90 minutes guy on PKs. I think he has 3 or 4 returns at this point. Who would you go with between both of them? On a wild card for the next, let's say, 6-7 game weeks.
I'm with you. I'm going with Ndiaye. So Grealish is, what did I say, first, I believe, in expected assists right now. Ndiaye, on the flip side, is 3rd in expected goals. And he's on PKs. I'd probably rather have him because, again, if your philosophy on Grealish is, he's going to get a bunch of assists. Okay, well, the guy he's probably going to give the ball to is the only guy who's really scoring for them, I think, and that's Ndiaye. So if you like Grealish for assists, you should probably like Ndiaye for a chance at scoring goals off those assists. So that's my theory on it.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with either of them. I'd probably just go with Ndiaye because the ownership's lower, but I think they have a pretty equal chance of giving you a return of some kind. So I don't have an issue with either of them.
I think those are the only 2 on Everton for me personally that I'm would really be interested in even picking up from an offensive perspective. Yeah. So take your pick. One's great for assists. One's better for goals. How many goals do you think, the Everton's going to get, I guess, is the question. So
yeah.
Again, I don't think you get either of them expecting a return every game. It's just a cheaper guy that you'll take the return when you get it, and when they get 2 points, you accept it.
Yes,
absolutely.
I would agree with that. All right, let's scoot on forward off Everton.
Scoot,
Dave, you haven't really had a chance to give us something. What do you got cooking there?
I haven't had a chance to scoot yet.
Let Dave cook. Let
him. This one is a recommendation for myself because I need to do some minor surgery on my team, and by that I mean get rid of Morgan Rogers.
Get rid of my entire midfield.
Yeah, but I like Brian Mbeumo for game week 6. I think him and Bruno have been United's 2 most consistent players. I just really like him. I think his finishing is going to come around. We know he's a pretty great finisher given his overperformance of his expected goals last year. Mm-hmm. So they get Brentford and Sunderland their next 2 games. I haven't been comfortable having 2 United assets yet. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable now with the schedule, improving for them the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
they played pretty well against Chelsea, at least for the first half. So I'm a little more comfortable with that. I also just, Matheus Cunha is coming back. He got 20 minutes at the end of that game. So another guy to keep in mind. His ownership is lower since he's been out.
Should be very low, I would hope.
I'm not sure it's at 4%.
Yeah.
Not sure if he's going to start this week. So keep an eye on the updates from Amarim throughout the week. If Cunha is going to start, I also like him equally as much as Mbeumo. But I think Mbeumo is who I am leaning toward bringing in for this week.
I really like that pick, especially if it's for a wild card, even more than this week. Like they obviously had the toughest schedule to start.
Yeah.
So when you think about a wild card in the rest of this first half of the season, like he could almost be a set and forget guy. He's bound to start getting returns, and I think he has the matchups to get it. He feels like he's the guy that's always there for them on the final touch. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's a really good call, and I might kind of copy you on my wild card.
Come on, man.
Hey,
it's a compliment.
Hey, you can't keep things secret here, you know.
It's a compliment.
He's also 5th in expected goals among midfielders. So
I mean, what was a game? Was it Burnley?
probably.
I think he could have had 3 goals in like the first 25.
Yeah, they had a
minutes.
billion chances and couldn't score.
He's just so strong on the
Manchester United
ball.
has some of the most shots in the league right now.
Story of
Some
my
of
life.
the lowest
No,
goals.
they have the most shots.
And
I'm pretty sure they have 81
I think they're
shots.
bottom 3 in goals.
Yeah. And that has to do too, because against Arsenal, they just pummeled them, and Arsenal obviously is great defensively. But yeah, no, Mbeumo.
Well,
Chef's kiss.
why don't we stay right on Manchester United? Because listen, it's like a bad car crash. You know, you don't want to look, but you just got to keep watching, right?
We just won.
You just got to keep watching.
We just won.
I know. I'm just messing with you. Listen,
Come on.
We mentioned Verts, so he is going to get offloaded heavily. And who's the guy that's going to be right there to pick up the pieces? That's going to be Bruno.
Bruno.
I think they are quite literally the exact same price, correct? Verts is also 9 million.
No, Verts is like 8.3.
Oh, okay, so you're spending up a
8.4?
little bit, but the point is that's kind of the logical switch, I would think, in most people's mind is offload Verts, go to another high-value midfielder, Bruno. I don't want to talk too much about him because I think most people understand that he is. He's obviously a good player, but he is 3rd in expected goals amongst all players. He's top 15 in expected assists amongst midfielders. He's on PKs, as we know. I think it matters for their next game because, let me find this, Sunderland, right?
Brentford.
They get Brentford.
Brentford, then Sunderland.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
Brentford. They've given up 1 PK so far this season. So, 5 games, 1 PK. They're only one of 9 teams that have given 1 up. So, I'm stretching a little bit, but it's a fact. It's a fact. And then they get Sunderland at home, correct, the next week?
Yeah.
Sunderland at home. Sunderland gave up, I believe it was 5 PKs last year in the championship. So only 2 teams gave up more than them. Again, championship is not EPL, but it's a thing, right? So point is, PKs, right? I'm stretching a little bit, but I'm trying to give him a little more credit. The point I want to make, though, is he's a top tier player, right? I went back and looked at the last 4 years of his finishes and his points. On average, he's finished 11th since 2021. And points, he's finished at 172 on average. That would be a top 10 finisher if you go back to last year, right? So, listen, it looks bad. His team really lets him down a lot. That's not meant to be an insult. That's just a thing. Like, he is the best piece of a team that's really struggling right now. But by the end of the season, it's not a fact, but high likelihood he's just going to be a top 10 player to end the year points-wise. So, yeah, maybe you don't get points every week. You're going to get points more than you're not going to get points from him. I just think everyone should probably have him in the midfield right now. You're not going to get Palmer right now. You're not going to get Verts right now. People are moving off Salah. Like, why not put Bruno in your midfield? I guess is my point.
Yeah. He's one of the few guys in FPL at any position that I truly consider matchup proof.
Exactly.
Steal an American fantasy football term.
Yeah.
Because he will get DEFCON. He's gotten it twice already and missed it by 1 against Arsenal.
I believe he has 55 DEFCON points already in 5 games. So he's averaging like 11 a week, which is 1 away from getting the DEFCON every single week.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
And in addition to everything Sean said, I mean, he does everything for United. He's essential to their success. No matter what you think of him, he is. So,
and the last point, we've said this before, but like, listen, I don't want to make an excuse for him because mentally it was kind of sad that he let it happen, but that ref doesn't accidentally bump him on a PK.
oh my God.
It's no excuse he needs to finish it. But if that ref doesn't touch him, he probably finishes it. We're talking another 5 points, BPS. We're talking maybe another 7 points.
Yeah, that week he would have gone 13, so
we wouldn't even be having a conversation. He'd be the pick for everybody.
He'd be the number 2 midfielder.
He is less owned than Grealish. I just told you guys that he's 19% owned. Grealish is 22% owned.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy. 6.8 million, so he's a super cheap option.
Yeah.
So, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, you're eventually, most people are gonna have him on their team at some point throughout the season. So why not just start early? You know what I mean? Get in while the getting's good.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, agreed.
I
I got another guy if you want.
I do.
Do it.
I would love to hear it.
This is kind of going to be sort of an anti-player pick.
So you don't want this guy.
It's JP Mateta, and a lot of people are buying him.
Yeah.
Which I get. He just scored. They are coming off a nice fixture run of Forest, Villa, Sunderland, West Ham, and I love JP Mateta. They might get Sarr back this week against Liverpool, so within the next 2 weeks he'll be back. But their schedule, their next 4 games are Liverpool, Bournemouth, and Arsenal, who are, I believe, 3 of the 4 best defensive teams in the league outside of Newcastle. So I just don't quite want him just yet.
No.
I love Palace. Like, I think they're a genuinely good team. They don't create the chances that you would expect. Nope. They've done it a little more against West Ham because West Ham lets everybody create chances.
They're not good.
But yeah, I would just be hesitant to buy him right now. Like I said, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Bournemouth is a sneaky good defensive team. So yeah, I would just be hesitant about doing that. I think there are other forward options that are running into a good patch of schedule. My boy Evan Nielsen, I know it hasn't quite happened for him yet. Yorkerish's schedule is about to improve big time, so I think there's some guys that I would rather go out and get instead of him.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
I would even argue, like, if you're going for Mateta, why aren't you getting João Pedro?
Also that, but it's likely that you already have João Pedro since he's on 2/3 of the team.
Yeah, I mean, do you have him, Holland, and you're trying to find that other guy? But
I agree with what you're saying.
To your point, that's valid. He is heavily owned.
Yeah, just a lot of people on Twitter are talking about buying him.
No,
and I just think it's a good time to wait like a month and then do it.
Well, so I was going to say. And sorry, Sean, then you can go.
God.
What I was going to say is on the flip side, those matchups aren't deterring me from wanting to just smash a Crystal Palace defender.
Wow, they're great.
Because someone like Gahey, even LaCroix, or Munoz, like, they have kind of opportunity. I see clean sheet opportunity in the Liverpool game and Bournemouth game. Arsenal way is a little more shaky. But then to your point, in that month, they have Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, United at home, Burnley away. They have a nice stretch there. So if you're wild carding, and we'll talk about it more next week, I'm not going to let like the Liverpool and Arsenal matchup in the next 3-4 weeks kind of deter me from wanting their defensive guys. I'm going to continue to be high on them. If that makes sense.
I think that's fair.
Same here. I'm going to play Munoz this week against Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm going to play Gahey this week.
Me too.
Nice. So we're coming up against time, but I just wanted to throw one more player in there and kind of a couple players. Not just because we are talking about wild carding, and I think this is worthwhile to think about if you are someone who's wild carding this week. I'll probably mention again next week, but I wanted to mention Anton Stach from Leeds. 5 million, 1.1% owned. He was one of the best players this week. He had 15 points, but he leads Leeds with 29 points. After him, it's 4 defenders. He's played every minute of the season so far. Listen, Leeds isn't a great offense. I get that, but he is, for lack of a better term, the only show in town right now for Leeds offensively. So, if you wanted a guy, I think, and the reason I'm not saying go get this guy, put him in. I'm saying he's $5 million. He falls into a fairly short list of players who I think, if you are wildcarding, getting a $5 million guy and leaving him on your bench, knowing that he's going to get 90 minutes, is probably a good strategy. He's an option. Cullen has 27 points, $5 million, less expected assists, but it's very close. James Gardner, another option, 25 points, but he also has lower expected assists. And then Granit Xhaka, 20 points, also lower expected assists and lower expected goals, but he gets all the DEFCON points, right? I like Stach of all those guys, but I think just the strategy of a $5 million guy, you could do a 5.5 in Caicedo or Reinders and a $5 million guy. Now you're really saving a lot of money to go do something again if you wanted to get Isak when he's ready or whatever. I think those 4 guys, especially the top 2 in Cullen and Stach, very interesting if you wanted to just leave them on your bench, because you're going to leave someone on your bench anyway, so why not these guys, right? 42 DEFCON points, by the way. That's 8.5 per game.
For Stach.
Yeah, for Stach.
Yeah, he's gotten it twice.
Yeah, so listen, for me, he's a Stach guy. Free up some space, or free up some cash. So,
are you saying you're gonna stash?
I know, it's funny, right? I also said he leads in points.
God, you just ooze.
He leads.
You just ooze creativity.
I need to one up you real quick, and we're gonna leave people with the flavor, the taste in their mouth.
Last thing we got, so make it good.
Mr. Jaden Anthony.
Is he also $5 million?
5.5 million.
He's playing really well.
3 goals, 1 assist, 4 returns
He's on
in
fire.
5 games. They haven't had the easiest of schedule either, playing against United, Liverpool, Forest, and Tottenham. Yeah. Now, they do play City and Villa back-to-back game weeks. Obviously, Villa sucks, but they're not necessarily terrible in the back. But then they do get Leeds and Wolves. And then they get Arsenal. So it's a shaky 5 game weeks. But he is a guy, if you're wild carding or you're figuring out a bench boost, you could pick him up, leave him on the bench. Same with Stach.
Yep. All these guys.
5.5 million.
All these
he's
guys.
A sexy ass option.
The point we're making
Jaden Anthony.
The point we're making is there are multiple 5.5 million high ceiling players. There are multiple 5 million high ceiling players. You should have 1, maybe 2, because it'll give you the money to go get the more expensive guys that everyone wants to have on their team. This is a rare year where we're able to get 5 million, 5.5 million guys that actually contribute to our team most of the weeks. Yep. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to build your roster. But that was it. Look, we're at time, boys. That went fast, actually. That went fast. There's always so much to talk about. I know. Hey, if you like and subscribe and comment, maybe one day we don't even need our normal jobs. We just do this every day.
Could give them so much good content.
So much good content.
You know what to do.
No, but listen, we will be back same time, same place next week. Looking back at game week 6, looking forward to game week 7. Like we said, it's going to be a wild card week. So tune in, live wild card. We don't know what the strategy of that's going to be yet. We'll let you know when we get here. It'll be in the title, so check it out. It won't even be clickbait, I swear. But yeah, check us out on socials, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, I think that's anyone else. That's all I got. I think we're golden.
I'm
out.
Boys are out. Hey, if you want to see our teams early, if you want to chat with us, if you want to see our rankings, check out the Patreon. Yeah, that's it. All right. And with that, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.